guys, just wanted to come on here and introduce myself, tell you a little bit about myself, and hopefully we can all do the same on this group. This way can be a little bit more personal. I was born in 1970 in England. Had a decent childhood growing up, a bit of a rough area. As a young kid, I was plagued by unusual dreams, which I'll get into at some point. As a child, I would wake up often, probably about 5 or 6 years old, and just be experiencing extreme speeds heading towards colours is all I could really remember as a child. Now later on this is a bit more significant, but as we go on, I'm like 6 years old, and now I've gone through life, school of hard knocks in Britain, grown up on the streets with friends, average kid really. Moved to Canada in 1981. It wasn't until about 1997, 96, I had some experiences with a friend of mine doing psychometry. He basically gave me a ring of his wife's to take home, because he said that his cousin had come over from Britain and her dad was the president of the Spiritual Church of England, and that we were all psychic and all intuitive. And my friend asked me to take his wife's ring home and see if I got anything. So I took the ring home, obviously, all weekend for 3 days. I remember just sitting there, laying down, sitting up, holding this ring, nothing. Long story short, I kind of fell asleep, or in a mid-daydream, and all I quickly got was like Edgar Allan Poe out of the blue. Didn't really know much about Edgar Allan Poe. And then quickly after that, I got a picture of his son, sort of mini dream really, riding on an elephant. And at the very end, kind of like half dozing, sleep state, a picture of his son. Looked like he had a red apple core and he was swallowing it. So I kind of jumped up and didn't think anything of it. Went back to work next day, told my friend these things. He's like, did you get anything? And I was like, well, I got Edgar Allan Poe. And he kind of looked around at me at work and he's like, geez, he's like, my wife's reading a book on Edgar Allan Poe right now, and she's really into that. And I was like, oh wow. I was like, what's the odds of that basically happening? Didn't think much of it. And then he's like, what else did you get? I goes, oh, I saw your son riding on an elephant. He's like, oh. It's like, holy fuck. He's like, pardon the language. He's like, we took the son to the zoo on the weekend, and all he wanted to do was go on the elephant. We wouldn't let him, and he was really upset about it. And I was, at this point now, I'm like, just an average guy on steroids, bodybuilding at the time. Didn't think much. I was just like starting to get a bit freaked out. And he's like, did you get anything else? I was like, well, I kind of saw him looked like he was swallowing an apple core, and I got kind of all, jogged out of my sleep. And he kind of turned around at work because he was in a warehouse. He looked at me, he's like, he was like shocked. His eyes were like saucers, really. And I was like, what? He goes, last night, my son almost swallowed a red Eveready battery, and we dragged it out of the back of his throat. And I was just like, I started to shake, and cause I'm just some normal kid really. I started to shake and become all bewildered, and I was like, what the hell? I didn't know what was happening. I've kind of lost my mind to a degree for a few moments, and then it plagued me, and a deep burning inside. And I talked to my friend about it, and from that day forward I changed as a person. Started going to church on Sunday, spiritual church of course, meeting all these healers, meeting all these people, going to Reiki classes, meditation classes, all sorts of things I was getting up to. I was obsessed with spirituality, obsessed with everything. All I did was read and study. A few years later I had a relationship breakup which put me right over the edge, and then I just started to meditate. I was meditating 3, 4, 5 times a day sometimes. Started to have some amazing things happening, One day I remember I was in meditation for about an hour and 10 minutes, maybe hour 15. Couldn't really feel my body at that point, which is very significant as we'll get into later. And then I started to spin. Now, I don't mean I got the spins, I mean there was something around my body which was like a vortex. It was just like whoom, 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 and another part was going the opposite direction. And I never felt anything like it in my life, and I was just like, oh, what's going on here? And then I started to feel light and giddy, nausea straight away. And I'll tell it to anyone that's having out-of-body experiences and different things when you're shifting frequencies, the sickness comes along as part of the parcel. I felt sick to my stomach so bad, got lighter and lighter and lighter, and all of a sudden it was like, bang! I found myself in the middle of the cosmos, in the stars, with 360-degree vision. I can't explain it more than that. I could see all around me at the same time. Then all of a sudden, I started to move, and I started to go fast. And I mean, I was going fast, where all of a sudden the stars, and it seemed like nebulas and different things, they were coming so quick. It was just like, and it was so fast. And I just went back to being a 5-year-old kid laying in my bed, basically heading through the veil and through a portal. Changed my life forever, really. After that, it was just a continual, in-depth inquiry into spirituality. I took so many classes and worked with some amazing psychics and clairvoyants. And it wasn't until 2008, I was reading a book on the Keys of Enoch at my work doing security. And I remember us doing mantras in my head at the same time, because I can kind of read and do mantras at the same time. And all of a sudden I started to get this, like, I was in the building by myself, big building up in Thompson, Manitoba. Started to get this pain in the chest, and I was just like, oh, this is like really uncomfortable, and I really kind of didn't know what it was. I thought I was kind of having like a heart attack, because my chest was starting to hurt so much. I was just like, it's uncomfortable. I couldn't swallow, couldn't do anything. It got worse and worse, so I was like bent over at my desk, and all of a sudden this ball that was in my chest, it came up into my throat like I was going to vomit. I could feel it, and right up into my neck, and it came to the top of my head, and it sat on my head like a sheer weight, like someone had put a heavy book on my head. And as soon as it hit my head, the lights turned on. And I mean, when the lights turned on, I became a different person. That's all I can explain to you. I saw this old man in my mind with grey hair, square rimmed glasses. I didn't know if it was me or somebody else, but he was super intelligent, super scientific, like a professor. When that happened, everything changed for me. My consciousness and awareness was, as I sit here speaking to you now, I'm feeling within my body. When this experience happened to me, my body felt like it was 20 feet to the left, 20 feet to the right, 20 feet above. My awareness was fantastic. There was not a thing I didn't know. It wasn't a thing I couldn't figure out. I had a super brain, probably like someone like Stephen Hawking times 10. I could have sat in a room with philosophers, with mathematicians, with anything of any type of science or philosophy, and I could have totally understood, because I was in a mental realm. And I never realized really what was occurring. And I picked up my book, The Keys of Enoch, and I started to look at some of the really heavy science that I couldn't understand. And I was blown away, because as soon as I picked up the book and flipped open to the pages, I started to look at the words, and the words disappeared, and it actually projected out as a hologram out of the book, and I didn't need to read the words. Everything was holographically shown to me, where I didn't need words. So I was in a mental realm, and I could have actually stood and been in with anybody of any language and speaking, and I was tapped into thought forms. That's all I can explain, and how I can explain it. So I was actually looking at holograms. The words in the book turned into holograms, no words needed. Didn't matter if it was a different language, really. That experience changed my life. I remember like writing in my work logbook, and my writing was intricate. It was so tiny I could barely read it. It was very, very tiny writing, and that actually lasted for a couple weeks. Afterwards, I could see my notebooks, with the pages started to get well, the writing started to get bigger and bigger over time. But at that point, everything changed for me after that. It was just I was never the same. It lasted over an hour. I remember walking around my building, half crying, half elated, because I thought, oh my God, I've made it to the next level. And I didn't realize it wasn't really the next level. It was something quite unique. I had actually basically popped open the pineal and had such an amazing experience. It's really hard to explain to people what really occurred, but I believe I was in the mental realm, in the mental body, and I could have had any answer to any question about anything, about everything in the universe. I was that intelligent, and I remember straight away thinking, my God, this is something special. And the voice was just like, no, this is how everybody is. This is what everybody has. We're all the same. And my life has been based around that, trying to chase that experience. I've had very close experiences on ayahuasca and different things to that. But no, it was generated from the heart chakra, and it was quite out of this world and changed me forever. So I wanted to come in here and try and share that with people. This is why I am the way I am on Facebook. It's why I do the things that I do. I've been involved with Anonymous. I was one of the biggest editors for Anonymous Canada. I have videos that have almost 1 million hits across Canada and the world. I put a lot of time into activism and trying to boost people up and bring them the truth, and that's what I'm still doing to this day. And now I'm planning to move into more personal one-on-one, where I can actually get into someone's energy field and energy matrix, because I can. If I have a one-on-one with somebody, I can get right into your life and I can help you to figure things out, and that's the journey that I'm going to take at some point in the future. But I wanted to come on here and just touch base with you guys, just to let you know what I'm all about. I'm not some fruitcake or guy that's just like picking up info and throwing it off the internet. I'm a very deep person, probably deeper than most people will ever realize. I have a huge heart, very sensitive, but like everyone, I'm plagued with karma, plagued with issues, plagued with my own wants and needs. So it's been a continuous battle. I've found myself shut down for the last 10 years and just recently have popped back open. So it's why I'm doing this now. And I hope that we can all join together as a group and as people and try to put our heads together and bring all these unique experiences to each other, because this is why I'm doing it. I'm actually trying to motivate you, and we'll start getting into meditation and techniques. And I've got thousands of hours banked in meditation, thousands. I really have. I have worked on all sorts of techniques and different things that I can help people with, and I can help people get to these stages, and then you're by yourself. And I needed assistance. Worked alongside some really great people, and that's just why I wanted to come on here, is to touch base. This is my first real video, so I have to excuse if it looks like crap, but I needed to do this, and I really hope that anyone that listens gets something from it. And yeah, people are going to watch this and be like, the guy's a lunatic, he is insane, but these events really did happen to me, and that's all that really matters, is it happened to me, and I'm willing to like share this with other people, so that hopefully you can attain things in your life and perceive different things that are going to change you for the better, because my life changed and I've never been the same ever since that. So I pray that you guys can all maybe do a video like this, introduce yourself. My name is Mark Brackley, I'm 49 years old, and I live in Calgary at the moment with a family here, girlfriend and family, children, and looking to get more into a business, into spirituality. And this is myself launching off into this group to try to assist people as best as I can. And if you want to come on and do a video about yourself, I'd love that, because then we can all make this a little bit more personal to each other, and then that way we can bond better as friends, as a group. So this is me coming out of the closet, if you want to call it that. I've got lots more to share. I just like touch the surface on stuff, guys. So I've got lots of stuff. Brain's like a supercomputer sometimes, and got nobody to talk to. So this is the best way for me to bring it out like that. So I do have people to talk to. Sorry, it's just sometimes it's just not the right time. So yeah. So we'll end it at that, and we'll see you. Hopefully, do a video and see you in the group, and hopefully didn't spook anyone off or make myself look like an imbecile. Take care, guys.